Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome, everyone, for episode 408 of the Massenomics podcast, the lifting podcast about nothing and chicken bakes, nothing and sparkling waters, nothing and, as of less recently, warm apple pies. Used to kind of be about apple pies, but not so much anymore. My name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy. And I love rockin' football towns, refs who shout first down, back-to-back Super Bowl wins, and
with the Twins.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm ready to podcast.
You know about them twins.
Mm-hmm.
You know we couldn't forget about those twins.
No, we cannot.
Those Coors Light twins. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff jam-packed, baked into this episode. We're got several topics we're going to run down then. We recently finished the 7 days of chicken bake challenge. Our three brave chicken baked-tronauts took on the challenge and have come back to earth after the 7 day span and doing the Lord's work. And we're going to have each of them on the podcast and run down a little bit of that experience for them, what it was like eating absolutely nothing but
Heavenly
Costco
goodness.
chicken bakes for 7 consecutive days. Some other stuff in addition to that. We've got some big drop information that we're going to talk about. But before any of that, I want to tell you all about Juggernaut AI. Juggernaut AI is the training that we use. We have used it for quite a while now. And the way it works, you log in, juggernautai.app. That's the web browser site you'd go to. You can get it downloaded there. Or you can just find out more information. But once you get it downloaded, then you start to tell the system about yourself. Tell them height, weight, lifting preferences, lifting history, age, training styles, weak points, sticking points, all of that. Juggernaut AI, just based on your input, will start to build out the program for you. And then especially the longer you use it, the longer it starts to get training frequency, training volume, exercise variation, get that stuff dialed in for you. And also it looks pretty good. The interface just looks cool. So you probably got to kind of download it and just check it out. There is a free trial. I think you can get it for like 30 days for free. So maybe you want to try that. But when you do sign up, make sure to use discount code Massenomics, Massenomics. That'll save you 10% for the lifetime of that membership. So you almost can't afford not to do it at juggernautai.app.
And today's episode is also brought to you by Swisslink. Since 1995, Swisslink has been importing military-issue goods to the United States and into the hands of those yearning for quality gear at uncompromised prices. Swisslink is home to the authentic Wavian fuel cans. They're from the same factory that make the so-called Jerry cans for the NATO forces since the 1940s. Made from 0.9 millimeters of cold-rolled steel, Wavians are the highest quality gas cans on the market. Big Mo has since decided that a high-quality water can was needed as well, so Swisslink developed a stainless steel water can to match. It fits all your Wavian jerry can holders and is made from food-grade 304 stainless steel, so you can trust it to carry drinking water. The cap is knurled for a good grip, and the spout screws into the bottom of the cap for convenient storage. A vent at the top ensures a good flow, and the can has the same 3-handle configuration as its fuel counterpart. This is another addition to Swisslink's exceptional collection and dedication to quality customer service. Enjoy 15% discount on your next purchase at swisslink.com by entering code MASS at checkout. That's code MASS at swisslink.com to save 15% on your next purchase. Thank you, Swisslink. Tanner.
Also check out Swisslink TV, their YouTube channel. You can see Big Miles and Big Mo chat about all kinds of stuff over on Swisslink TV.
It looks like we got the brown shirt memo tonight. This doesn't happen too often, but occasionally we do wear the same shirt.
I thought we had some of our mathletes figure out the probability of you and I wearing the same shirt.
Did we ever actually figure that out?
Night. Well, I think there's a lot of variables there,
Okay.
and et cetera, et cetera.
It's the impossible
statistics.
math problem.
Yeah, no one really got. I think they got stuck on mean median mode and never
right.
recovered from that
That's,
discussion.
isn't
or
that how
debate.
most mathematical discussions go? You can't
Yeah.
even decide what mean median mode means, so you just get stuck
And the
there.
rest of it. Yeah. In other old news, Big Keith asked if I ever got a Christmas card update. No.
Yeah.
That
Oh
person
man, I was
never
really hoping
surfaced.
you'd have
No.
some news for us
I
on
don't
that
know
one.
that it's a podcast listener. No
Man.
update on that.
I was really hoping that mystery was going to be solved. I thought for sure you'd
Yeah.
have something for us.
No update. He also asked about my camera, and we got that straightened
Yes.
out a while ago. So I mean, it was working as is. It just basically makes our editing process simpler when we do
A
when I'm
little
recording it correctly.
easier. Yeah.
Yeah. This week, like I said, we're going to talk about the chicken bake challenge results. But I don't know about down there in Sioux Falls, but it was the snow was melting here today.
It's a heat wave out here.
Yeah. It was above freezing today. It was 35 degrees, and I think next week gets to be like 45 or something
I
like
saw that.
So
It's that
yeah.
warm February air going to hit us next week. So
that's true.
man, if we can get through like February without things being too bad, you're in the clear. You can still get snowstorms, but the brutal cold is basically gone, and you're living easy at that point.
I think they call this false spring. You think it's spring, but then old man winter comes back for just like one more kick in the ass before it's all over. So I think we're in the midst of false spring right now.
I know,
But this winter, at least here, like we have gotten almost no snow.
yeah,
so
you guys
far.
really
I mean,
haven't.
knock on wood.
We really just had one day where we got about a foot, and then
Right.
we had some high winds and just a little bit of snow. But really, it was that one bad day is the only day we've had that was extreme. Other than that, it's just been cold. Which, all right, just stay inside, I guess.
Yeah. It'd be nice if because last winter got long in western northeast South Dakota. It drug out for so long. It'd be really sweet if this winter wasn't like that, and we get into like March and it's like, no, you're good for the year.
Well,
you're free.
Even if you're mostly through February, though, you can see the light at the
Yeah.
end of the tunnel. The brutal cold is gone. It doesn't get
Right.
negative whatever in March. And then when you get snow, yeah, it sucks, but it's usually gone in a couple days because
Right.
the weather's just so much more mild by the time you get to that point of the year.
It's really not the cold that gets you though. It's the wind,
Dude,
right?
it is. And until you've lived it, that might just sound like a saying, but it's the truth.
It's not the air temp that gets. That's funny. You say it's not the air temperature that gets you. It's the wind, and it's still like -6 air temperature outside, and you're like, well, that's not really so bad. It's just the wind.
It
You're
is
like,
though.
well,
That's
it's
the
like
thing.
-10.
And then also, it can be 0 degrees and the sun's out, and you're like, "This is nice. There's nothing wrong here." If
Right.
the sun's out and there's no wind, I don't care what the temp is. It's basically a nice day.
Ain't that the truth? We do have a drop coming up. Drop day. We've decided at this. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while since we've dropped anything new. Thank you, Stained, for coming in clutch on that one. Always got to shout out Stained. Shout out to our close personal friends of the podcast, Stained. It has been a while since we've dropped anything new now, and we've got multiple things coming in this one. A few things that I would say are particularly special. It's all special. I don't know. There's one thing in here that we're definitely, even without reviewing it, that I know both of us are very excited about. So
There's multiple things in here I'm very excited about. This is going to be a good
Yeah.
drop. It really covers the body pretty well too. We got all
It
angles
does.
figured out here on this one.
head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Knees and
kinda in this
toes.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not going to reveal as of yet what any of this is, but this episode will come out on Monday. What's the date on this Monday that this comes out? On the 29th. And then the drop will be that following Thursday, which will be Thursday, February 1st. And it's good. I wish I could say more. I would like to say more teasers right now about something, but I just think it'll be more fun if it's a little more.
You don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet, right?
No, but there'll be something. If you've been hanging around here for a little while, you're going to be pretty excited. You're gonna, at the very least, you're going to laugh a little bit at something that's coming here.
Yes.
I'd say that you're at least going to get a good classic Massenomics nose breath out of.
It might be an
out of
audible
something
nose
here.
breath.
Yes. definitely. So yeah, I guess we don't really talk about it much more than that. That's what we got coming. Stay on the lookout February 1st. Act fast. There's a few things in this drop that might not last very long. Maybe that flagship item even will go quick. We'll just see how
sizes could be a hot commodity there, so you gotta watch how that's working out.
Yes. So that's the drop. February 1st. Don't miss it. Did you see the Mark Bell YouTube channel thing then a little bit? I know I
did.
As a topic.
So yeah, we just had to verify with you. His channel went off, but as of right now, it is back online, correct?
It is back.
And it wasn't the Mark Bell channel. It was because he has multiple channels.
I don't know what the difference is anymore.
I don't yeah. Also, it's some of the engagement on this stuff is surprisingly low.
I think it was Mark Bell's Power Project.
Yes. God, I can never remember what that's called.
But I don't know if he has a different channel than that.
Really? I didn't know if he had like a slingshot channel.
I don't see anything. Like when I Google Mark Bell or when I YouTube Mark Bell, I see Mark Bell's Power Project. Oh, Mark Bell Super Training. Yeah, you're right. So what does he post on that? Why does he have? Why is there? Okay, yeah, you're right. No, you're definitely right.
Yeah, because Super
both.
Training, and Super Training has 600,000 subscribers. Power Project's at 350.
Yeah. Okay. So then, and they had shared the message from YouTube of, your channel's been turned off, and what action are we taking? Well, our actions we're taking is it won't be turned back on.
Yes, and so my first question was because I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I do. But you have no idea if he's gotten flags or strikes in the past, and it's totally on the honor system if Mark is going to tell you that. And Mark is totally will.
It's very possible he doesn't even know.
Yeah, and he could have, like, we've had it before on Instagram. We didn't know we had strikes on things. Right. And then you go into the settings and see, oh, yeah, we did have those. So that would be my very first question. Was it actually really completely 100% out of nowhere? Was there no warning, no strikes, no nothing? And this was completely blindsided, or were you playing innocent here and maybe there was some other things going on behind the scenes? That would be my first question.
Right. You know what my theory is? This is my tinfoil hat theory on the whole thing.
Is that he's doing it to pump views?
Yeah. So it was gone for like 2 days or 3 days or something like that.
And got everyone to just fired up about it. That was probably the most people have cared about.
I haven't had
content.
a thought about the Mark Bell Power Project in years of any kind. And all of a sudden we're talking about it here. Why wouldn't I totally could picture Mark Bell being like, hey, let's say our YouTube channel got canceled.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put that past him at all, though. I wouldn't. Like, I don't think that's a crazy theory. Like, Mark.
No, I know. That is actually I think that is very possible. That might even just be what I think is going on there.
Well, and you can look at a lot of his videos. For the most part, they're all between 2,000 and 10,000 views, and then all of a sudden, our Power Project was canceled. That video 36,000 views, and then the next video back down to 4,200 views. But so it definitely gave him a spike and get people a lot of eyes and engagement on it. And it got all these people rallying and crying against the liberal woke world. I mean, it gave everyone the boogeyman to cry about. And at the end of the day, you don't know. Like, you don't know why it happened. And I would love to know more about it, but it was gone and now it's back.
The more interesting conversation, or the bigger conversation, probably unspecific to Mark Bell, is if, a YouTube channel there again, I think that it was a sham. I think it's very possible that that this was fabricated in order.
I would not be surprised if it was fabricated, but I would be even less surprised if there was more context that he's not giving, because it's a way easier angle to market if you play the victim in this card. If you're like, oh, okay, guys, YouTube behind the scenes for talking about steroids and giving pseudo medical advice has been giving me like 5 strikes over the past 12 months. And I got my 6th strike, and I got to take this one like a man. No one wants to do that. Everyone wants to play the victim and say, these people are abusing their power and coming after me. So like that one would not surprise me one bit if that's what was actually going on behind the scenes, that he had multiple ones and then I could see that twisted for sure.
Yep. And then looking at it through the lens of someone that also, we also creating content on not just YouTube, but multiple platforms. And then you talk about the power that the platforms have in order to be able to just like take away your channel at any point in time. And that's a scary thought for us, but also at the same time, and I know people talk about this both ways, but YouTube doesn't, I actually, even as a creator on these platforms and as someone that doesn't want it to happen to us and am worried about it happening to us for anything, I also still think at the end of the day, they kind of get to do what they want.
Oh, 100%.
They're privately owned companies,
yes.
and like we can't be mad at them if they, like I don't want them to do that to us, and I would like if they have valid reasons for doing what they're doing, but also they don't owe us. I don't think
it's their platform, it's their marketplace,
right.
it's their thing they built. Yeah, I don't like the conditions, but that's the rules. They're the housekeepers. They get to decide what goes on the, what's acceptable and what goes. And by signing up, to me, yeah, you're taking that agreement with them if that's where you want to be. And then there's all these people in there that First Amendment it's like, no, this is not the U.S. government. This is a private company
that's what I'm saying. This isn't a government
it's a public
agency.
company,
Right?
Publicly owned company, but still, they're a business. They can do what what they want, though. They have shareholders that they got to appease, and they're going to do what they want. That think this going to make them the most money. And I mean, then you get all these people. Like you read the comments, every single one of them is go to Rumble, go to Rumble, go to Rumble. And I'm like, first, I've never even heard of Rumble. And then Mark's like, oh yeah, go to Rumble, so like 30 people can see my videos.
Well, go to Rumble is you hadn't heard of Rumble before?
I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, I know about Rumble, I guess, but yeah, that's the thing. Go to Rumble, like, great that you're commenting that, but are you all going to come with them to go to Rumble? Because the answer is no.
No,
you're not.
No,
because you're going to go to YouTube,
right? Yeah.
Like, and people aren't going to go to Rumble.
No,
like,
no one.
Unless there's some giant
be 10
systematic change here,
yeah.
But like that's not, and that Rumble could be interchanged with any other. Upstart platform that can't compete with the. Oh yeah,
go put ones, go. Then people are like, go put them on X. Like also there, no one wants to be on X. Or I shouldn't say no one wants to be on X, but the way I understand, no one wants to watch YouTube videos on X and all these Telegram, Signal, whatever these other things are. Like no one, very very few people are going to those. And so if you're already on YouTube and you can only get 3,000 people to watch you on YouTube, and they have probably billions of viewers. You're going to go to these other ones and get 100 people to watch you? I don't know.
So if YouTube kicked us off for whatever reason tomorrow, yes, I would definitely be pissed. I don't want to say that. I would be
100%
pissed at that and be fighting it in return.
Especially because, man, we are talking about the most vanilla, like non-flag raising things ever.
Right.
Like when he saw that, I thought, okay, I know why, because he had just made a post, very rarely happens, but you see people make posts on YouTube, and he had his post talking about, I love steroids. Some people like weed. Some people like this. I love steroids. They make me feel great. And I just remember thinking like, yeah, I mean, you've said that for years. I 100% like that is your thing. Right. I don't have a problem with someone saying that. I don't have a problem with someone having that life approach, but YouTube probably doesn't like that. Like they probably, it's an illegal drug as far as YouTube's concerned. They don't want someone saying, I love heroin. I love meth. Right. And like some people like alcohol. I like meth. Like they don't like posts like that. So yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Also one side note, I feel like Mark's current crew has been, as far as his timeline with people goes, is going quite a while, isn't it?
That's true. That's true.
Usually he's kind of moved on to a different group of co-hosts. His current ones have been with him quite a while now, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess
to be continued.
That's everything we know about Mark Bell in the last. That's our 3-year recap.
Yeah, that was. I really saw more about him than I have in the last 3 years combined, just having to do with this.
Yeah, it would be interesting actually to see, because the engagement numbers he was getting on some of that stuff was just crazy for a little bit. And I'm sure it'll just level right back out to back where it was.
That's true. Do you got a can over there at all?
I do, and I'm thirsty.
And I would note we've received a couple of what's in the can in the mail. We haven't done those yet, so I actually have to look. We've gotten a couple different ones. We got them sitting back here. We haven't done those yet because Tommy's going to be here in Western Northeast South Dakota in person soon. So we're going to exchange hands on some things there when you're here, including those cans, so that we can bring those to you in future weeks coming up here. So what do you got? What are you drinking there?
Waterloo Peach.
Ooh, classic. I've got something a little bit different here. I don't think I've ever had this before. It's another Good and Gather, a Target brand Good
That
and
can
Gather.
you love.
Yeah, and it's a cranberry citrus sparkling water. A little bit
Cranberry
different flavor.
I could see how that could be good.
I don't dislike
Cranberry I was in, but citrus, now mix them together. That could be something.
That's pretty good. That's sneaky good. I
don't think we've ever had a cranberry sparkling water, have we? I'm not sure that flavor has ever come up before.
I don't know. I'd be almost surprised if we haven't just over the last few hundred episodes. But
yeah, but cranberry.
One of the Davids might know.
Yeah, probably.
You know what I like occasionally if I'm drinking, which I'm not often drinking all that often, but if I was,
you like a cranberry vodka, don't you?
I do like a
You
cranberry
do. You
vodka.
order
I guess
those.
you already know that.
Yeah, because I'd get those when I was younger once in a while, and then I hadn't seen anyone order one for years, and then occasionally, usually at the Arnold, I'll see you have a cranberry vodka.
Yeah.
Or, the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic, or trying to think of if we do a powerlifting meet somewhere or something. Yeah, I usually see Tanner consume at least one cranberry vodka.
I like the bitterness of cranberry juice.
But they work well. They play well together.
Yeah.
They do.
They do.
I don't think it's a bad drink.
Really,
I just forget it exists.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want something like a sweet mixed drink, but like the cranberry juice I kind of like.
Yeah.
Although cranberry juice is an interesting juice. Have you ever just had like a glass of cranberry juice?
I don't think I ever have, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have. I went through a point in time where it's good for you, and I would buy cranberry juice and like have just I'd have like a 4-ounce glass of it every day.
It's like a drier juice, though, isn't it?
Way drier.
Yeah.
Way drier. But I kind of like it. I don't know. I think it's an acquired taste.
I could see that.
I think it's one of those things that's an acquired taste.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Kind of makes me want a cranberry juice, cranberry vodka.
I feel like I'm missing out on something. I need to go do some research after this. Going to the bar.
This is good though. I would give this a 4.0. It's
okay. I might have to get some of those at
tasty.
Target.
Yeah. It's tasty. It's real tasty. Okay. What about our YouTube? What's going on speaking of Mark Bell's YouTube, what about our YouTube? They're good. Speaking of the good YouTube.
First of all, you had, was that last week? You had your second training vlog of the year so far. And
yes, second training vlog of 2024. The year of the training vlog.
It was fairly well received. Lots of comments. I enjoyed watching it. Seemed like everyone else enjoyed watching it too. Got pretty good number of views for us.
Yeah,
which by that feedback says we need to do more training vlogs, I guess. So we got some of those. Got some of those in the works. But what was maybe more exciting for YouTube is we have a massive list of ideas where we keep things, and we started putting dates to it today, and we came up with, we basically have the first 6 months of the year planned out for YouTube videos, which is pretty nuts. And actually we could go farther than that, but we thought, we're already got 6 months in. There's no way the schedule will keep, things will change. But that is an exciting feeling to know we have that many things planned currently.
Yeah, it is. We do have quite the list. And one of the things that's even just borderline on the list, I guess I won't get into it in full detail yet until the idea is fully fleshed out. But we've got something with YouTube where we're going to be able to incorporate a bunch of our crew members here coming up soon. Pick off a crew member at a time. Do we talk about that, or do we wait until there's more, or do we bring that up?
The only thing is it might be a couple months before we get to it, so it might get people excited.
I don't want people
to
get too excited yet. Yeah, right.
But yeah, it is a chance for you to possibly be in a YouTube video from afar. So
Joey said they're going to steal our thing. No, it's not that. It's very certain. Yeah, we'll just leave it at. We'll just leave it ambiguous at this point, but it will be a way for some of the crew to get involved, and I think everyone will will enjoy it quite a bit that gets to get involved. So more to come on that soon for our YouTube channel, though. But we got a lot of interesting things coming on the YouTube. So if you're not subscribed yet, make sure to get subscribed here in 2024. I think it's only up from here, right?
God, I hope so. Either that or they're taking our channel away from us.
Yeah, one or the other.
Prying our 4,000 subscribers from us.
Yeah. Do we want to? We got time for another topic, I guess, first before we do supporting our sporting members and ads and stuff.
I'll do this one. This one's okay. Coaching in the gym. I got to witness for the first time in a long time. I was at the gym the other day, and there were some guys in there coaching someone up on the deadlift. And I'm assuming that maybe this person had possibly deadlifted before, maybe. But I had not got to witness like a real novice level introduction to the deadlift in a long time.
So was this like a paid personal trainer? Then,
you know, I couldn't even decide because the gym, it's confusing because the gym that I go to, there's 3 rooms. There's a massive room for like a rock climbing area. And I never see that. There's the weightlifting room. And then there's another back room that has a CrossFit gym in it. And my best guess is that someone from the CrossFit gym, I don't know if it was an actual CrossFit coach or just people that do CrossFit, had come into the weightlifting gym to coach up some other guy on the deadlift. And what's funny about it is just everyone's approach, like what some, how some people would do it versus how I would in my, we've gone through this process before. Like someone comes into Massenomics gym and they don't really lift much and they say, hey, can you give me some tips or am I doing this right? And things that are obvious that you see people do wrong all the time. But it's just funny watching someone else run through this scenario and like things that I'm like, I'm not necessarily sure that I would do it that way, or I don't necessarily think that is helpful what you're doing. The main one being like, I think they threw like maybe 70 cues at him. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're just throwing.
That was before you even said that. The first thing when someone comes in new to Massenomics gym and they want help, it seems like it's always the deadlift. They always want to ask about the deadlift. And my biggest thing is that day I try to be positive to them. I'll try to be like, yep, here's what I see you're doing something right. And here's like the one thing I would think about changing a little bit.
To me,
and that's what I do to them like every time.
Yes. Like to me at the very most, you get 3 cues that you're going to tell someone.
Yep.
Like maybe a setup like during the actual motion and like setting it down. That's it. Like you get 3, like anything else is just in one ear out the other. I don't care how good or coachable you think this person is. You can't throw that many things at them and hope it sticks. Like really, you're to me, the point of the game at this in the very, very beginning is repetitions more than anything. And like, just let them do it. And you can say either, nope, that was good or bad. And like, just let them get that muscle, that movement pattern in their head, like feeling it of what's right and wrong. Like you're not going to just cue that thing into submission. Like that's not going to happen.
No.
And I mean, and like after all of them though, like the ones to me, like that they weren't, the biggest one to me was, and I feel like you see this a lot, is people get their legs too wide. And so what happens when their legs are too wide? Their knees cave in when they're deadlifting, like one in the starting position. And then when they're bringing the bar down, their knees come in. To me, that is because your feet are too far apart. Like, would that be your critique of that one or not?
Yeah, I mean, in squat, it's a different.
Yeah, squat's a different
case,
thing.
But
I feel like in deadlift, a lot of times people start too wide.
Yeah, you're usually not lacking like a muscle issue for your knees caving on a deadlift.
Yeah, it's like you just need to get your feet under you more, so you're just everything's stacked a little better. And that was one that I thought they could have fixed a little better, and they didn't acknowledge. So I thought that was weird. And then the main one was just the sheer number of cues getting spoken. And then there was 2 guys too that were trying to coach this, or there was one main guy trying to coach it, and there was another guy that was adding commentary in. And I'm like, you're making this even worse. And the one guy told him, he's like, hey, you need to be quiet. I'm the one coaching him right now. So I don't know if there was actually like some seniority in that chain there, but it was.
So, yeah. What I honestly tell people, like if someone comes in, they're brand new to lifting like that, and they do a few deadlifts and say, hey, you want to watch me? And I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely. I'll try and help you out. Do what I said is, tell them something positive because I don't want them to feel like a complete piece of shit because I don't think that that's helpful very often.
Yes, exactly.
And then, tell them like the one thing that the most apparent thing I see him doing, like, can I just get him to do that a little bit better for now? And then I would be like, honestly, what I think and what I would even say is the biggest thing that's going to get your deadlift better is if you keep coming here 3 days a week for like the next year, I promise, and you're deadlifting once a week, whether you're listening to me or listening to a few other people at the gym, or as long as you're just here and doing it for that long, a year from now, it's going to look so much different, because
Yes.
I've seen that 1,000 times with guys like that. They just have to stay consistent. And, like lifting at a gym like Massenomics Gym, you kind of figure it out.
Well,
you
plus
just see enough people do it.
You're surrounded by examples of how it should look. So you just get it kind of burned into your brain for what should be happening.
Yep. So that's like the biggest cue is like, just keep showing up for several months, and we're
also,
going to get this figured out.
As you do something more, whether you realize it or not, I think most people, your body is going to adapt technically to a more efficient form, regardless of what you're doing. Like, it's so rare that you're going to do something and actually develop worse and worse habits as time goes on, worse technique habits. Like, you're naturally going to figure out, okay, yeah, it does feel better and it does feel easier when I get into this position and do this. And yeah, you're right. You just stick with it over time. Your body will get better at it. And then it is just like someone coming in and be like, oh yeah, just don't do that one thing there. Like, maybe don't round your back as much as you are. Like, you might not realize you're doing that. And maybe don't drop the bar at the top of your last rep, and then
you come back when I'm around for like the next few weeks, and we'll see if you got that figured out. And then when it seems like that's figured out, like then it's like, okay, I noticed this, like you could do this, and like just, not try to just completely clusterfuck confuse someone right off the bat. Then they're like, I don't know what I'm doing now.
Yeah, it was everything.
Like, what does this even look like?
And I put this in here like 2.5 weeks ago, so I forgot about it. That was the other one. The two biggest things to me. So one was the knees caving in, which I'm like, that's just not an advantageous position to be starting in. And the other one was they got him to the point where he was squatting the weight up, like butt down, more. And I'm like, at a certain point, like, I get it. Everyone's starting position is a little different. You have to acknowledge that. But like, it was way too, he was almost in the bottom of a squat to the start of it. And so what your first movement is then is your butt comes all the way up to the right spot, and then you lift the weight.
I've seen that act. You think the most common beginner thing is you'd see someone have like really straight legs and a really rounded back. You might see that like the meme version of someone deadlifting. But what I see a lot is people that are hyper conscious of like not hurting their back. So then they do this thing where they deadlift and they bend their knees so far forward beyond the bar, and like this really weird position that you can't even pick it straight up, because you have to like bring it out around your knees and legs, because you have your knees so far forward.
Yes.
Because you're like doing weird.
You can't even grab
you're doing
the weight.
Like, it'd be like you're doing like a high bar a front squat,
but the weight's in front of you too far.
Right. But then and then trying to deadlift in a front squat position. I've seen that quite a few times, and you have to be like, no, you're not going to hurt your back. Like, I was watching the ergonomic safety training video at work this week for part of my
as you do every
training.
week, right?
Yeah, and I think it's an annual thing, and like they have a part in there where it's like, don't use your back, only use your legs when lifting. And they show a picture of a person doing like this weird, like picking up a box and doing picking it up in this weird ass way where I relate it to picking up Atlas stones. And I'm like, I know how to do this. And like, that is not how you do it.
No.
You need to brace and, you use your legs, but you use your back a lot too. You need to know how to use your back properly and
you can't
safely.
just take your back 100% out of it.
No.
Like, this is not possible.
No, that's exactly. So yeah, that's your coaching in the gym.
Yes,
you didn't coach the coaches though.
Nope, I didn't coach anyone. I just took it all in and kept my distance, but got to watch it go down.
Yeah. Want to hear about supporting members? We had some good ones this week.
Yes, I do.
You thought I'd never ask.
I've just been waiting this whole episode for it.
First one is Big Steve, and it's Big Steve 80085. Does anyone know what 80085 is? Important question here for listeners. 80085.
I don't think I do. Should I?
Keith got it. It's boobs.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Big Ryan. Of course, that perv Ryan got it. It's boobs. Big Steve 80085. Classic name there. He did his first powerlifting meet, and he did it in the Massenomics singlet and headband combo.
The deadly
So
combo.
he was dressed to impress. So congrats, Big Steve, on your first meet. That's always a cool experience, or we hope it at least we hope it is for you. I assume it is in a Massenomics singlet.
Yeah. Probably made a
And
lot
then
of friends.
Big Tyler Thompson, one of our strongman competitors for the 2024 Lift Hard Live Easy Classic. He got engaged. Woo! So congrats on your impending funeral.
Time's ticking.
Ain't ever coming back from that one. Okay, Jake the Snake Heidenreich got 4th place in the 220 class out of 11 competitors at the Winter Classic Strongman competition in North Dakota.
Looked like there was a couple events that were very, very close.
All the events were like
didn't he say one event he missed second place by like a half a second or something like that?
all the events were like 8 seconds long.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this was everything. Like the one event was stairs. What's that called? Power stairs.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just going around the box.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he still went really fast. And he's like, oh, I got 8th out of 11th. Because he's like, oh, I screwed it up. And I'm like, you took like an extra second.
Yeah. It was like a second difference.
Yeah. And like I was expecting like this, like, I've seen like horrific
screw-ups. I was expecting
injuries,
a
like
stumble of some kind, and you had to really like reset and regroup.
And you like, go to pick it up, and you like stumble again, and you're like all flustered. And I'm like, he like made
Actually, when I watched that one, I saw it and then I swiped over expecting to see like another video of the stairs, thinking that something actually happened in another one because it was just non-existent, the slowdown.
And then there was a really fast farmer's carry. There was like 2 other events that were all fast event. Oh, there was a 3 sandbag medley, and I think he the same way he said like, oh, I screwed up the pick on the last one. I'm like, barely, but it cost him several spots, and that's my point. Is like he was barely making errors, and he was still doing things quickly. But it says there was really good competition, but also I don't know if I personally, my preference wouldn't be that many fast-paced events
when tenths of seconds are separating people.
Yeah. But I also was not running it or doing it, so it's really easy for me to armchair quarterback the whole thing. I'm so good at making excuses for myself that I can just even make excuses for other people now. Be like, I can spot a competition and be like, I've got some excuses.
Yeah,
for
it's
you
a gift. Like, it's my curse. I have to live with this.
Yes. Big Dodzilla, he competed in a strongman show also. He got 2nd place in his. Big Dodzilla, number 1 supporting member, numero uno, of course.
Did I see he had something along the lines of people saying, are you one of those Massenomics guys? I believe did he post that in the Discord? Is that where I read that?
Yes, he did, which I like that. Then Big Grant, he posted a chicken bake carnivore video on his the Strength Co YouTube channel today.
Go check that out. Riding the chicken bake wave.
Yeah, he's on that on them there chicken bakes. And then this is really cool. Big Travis and Big Stu, both from West by God, Virginia, both came here, flew in for the Crew Falls meet and greet event. Was that last month? Really, still? Just last month.
December, yeah,
basically,
that was December, right?
Yeah, it was a December to remember in Crew Falls.
That was technically only a little over a month ago.
So Big Travis and Big Stu both came for that, and now in West by God, Virginia, it's actually in Kingwood, West by God, Virginia. They opened up the Lift Hard Strength Club. Their gym is, I think, even as the time of recording this, like just opening. It looks like they're just getting that finalized. They posted some pictures here earlier. A whole bunch of pictures.
Love the name.
They got the Lift Hard Strength Club. I like the logo with the lightning bolts and the tiger on it. And the inside of the gym looks great. Yeah. They got the three cage racks set up. They've got a bunch of Massenomics banners all over the place. They got the Strength Co plates. They've got a whole bunch of strongman equipment. They both enjoy competing in strongman. They got like a dedicated Atlas stone over bar, yokes, frames, all that stuff. Gym has a cool aesthetic. It's somewhere I would like to go to. I know that.
Yeah.
So if anyone finds themselves in or close to Kingwood, West Virginia, make sure to check out the Lift Hard Strength Club and tell them that Massenomics sent you. And they'll say, we'll charge you double. So thank you to our supporting members. And before I forget, the line in the sand is coming.
Ooh,
if you're
that's
not a
right.
support, so every week we give back to some of our supporting members. We give back to them through this segment, supporting our supporting members, like you just heard. There's also a discount code out there just for supporting members that you can get on. You also get early access and information to our upcoming drops that only supporting members get. Then we do these periodic mailings that only go out to our supporting members. It's like our crew gifts or our crew surprise. And we've got one that we've now finalized almost every detail of it. We've got things are getting made, printed, designed.
Money is being exchanged.
Yeah. We're paying for things. It's almost done. So probably sometime in February, I'd say certainly sometime in February, there's going to be a line in the sand in February where if you are not a supporting member by that date, you will miss out on this. So if you are in any way, shape, or form borderline thinking of becoming a supporting member, do it now, right now, because I think I just said this in the Discord this week, but I think this is one of those things, like one of our early supporting members' gifts was our membership card, which the crew, all the crew that were in by then got this membership card
to these days.
Yeah,
to this day,
a badge of honor is a good way to put it. This will be of that. This is even. I think this is bigger. This is grander than that in a lot of ways.
There's a lot more
There's
bragging
a lot
rights
to this
on the line with this one.
Yeah, there was some breaking rights on the line with the card. There is a lot of bragging rights on the line on this. So you want to make sure to at least be in on the action when this comes out, right? Is that all fair to say?
Yes, 100%.
Oh, and one other thing I forgot to mention, Big Lara was the guest this week on Unpaid and Underrated. I lost my AirPods, so I haven't finished it yet, but
Lost them? Like gone for good?
They're in
Lost
this house
them?
somewhere. No, I mean, they exist. It's just, you ever lost your AirPods before like that in your house?
I actually just for brief moments, but I have you can hit the little button on the newer ones and they'll beep at you.
It's supposed to be on Find My. It's supposed to be able to check them, but it's not doing it. I don't know.
Damn
It'll
it,
turn
Apple.
up eventually, but it's screwing up my podcast listening is what I'm trying to say about that.
That'll do it.
All right. Also, as long as I'm talking about the Strength Co., make sure to check out thestrength.co. That's where you can buy their Olympic iron plates and barbells, just like our buddies in West by God, Virginia just did. Big Travis and Big Stu. They bought a whole bunch of new Strength Co. plates for their gym. If you're outfitting a gym, I would email the Strength Co. and let them know you got a big order that you want to get placed and talk to them about that. Otherwise, if you're just wanting to buy a few plates, try them out, just head over to the Strength Co. They make it really simple. You go to their site, click on plates, click on Olympic iron plates, shop now, add them to your cart, buy them. They got everything from Hondus, the 100-pound plates, 45s, 35s, 25s, 10s, 5s, 2.5s, 1.25s, and I don't think I missed anything in the lineup. They've also got bumper plates available. If you're into that sort of thing, not that there's anything wrong with that, check them all out at thestrength.co.
And this episode,
they're back on their bullshit.
This episode is also brought to you by Bearfoot Shoes. Most shoes harm your mobility by over-restricting your foot's natural movement. Bearfoot shoes are designed with minimal restrictions so your feet can move the way they're supposed to. Move with more strength and confidence in every step. Bearfoot Shoes was founded by Chris Duffin, who attributes proper foot biomechanics as foundational to his success in squatting and deadlifting over 1,000 pounds for reps. He helped create the company to provide a minimalist shoe that can be worn for anything from deadlifts to walking your dog. Go to www.barefoot.shoes to check out the best minimalist shoes available. And while you're there, make sure to use code Massenomics to save 10% on your next order. That's barefoot.shoes, or you could even do barefoot.store. I think we use those interchangeably. And either one will get you there. Make sure to use code Massenomics. You save 10% on your next order. Thank you, Bearfoot Shoes.
Thank you, Barefoot. So what we're going to do is we had our 3 Chicken Bake athletes, our sponsored athletes. They each got, we're agreed to reimburse them for every chicken bake that they ate in a 7-day period. Caveats were, or the important rules, they they had to eat nothing but chicken bakes for those entire 7 days, and they all just finished that like a day ago. So we're gonna get the kind of wrap up from each three of them, get their thoughts on the experience. Big Sam, you got upgraded to the number 1 spot from the number 2 spot in the interview process. So Big Sam you are signed up and registered for the 2024 Lift Hard Live Easy powerlifting event, right?
Yes, sir.
Can't hold anything back now, can you? Only 6 months out.
No, it's only 6 months more bakes to get there.
And I mean, we're going to touch on this, but I think you started 2024 in the most anabolic way possible.
I think so.
Okay.
I added a whole inch and a half to my legs just on chicken bakes. Go wrong.
So we've got a series of questions we're going to ask you about the chicken bake challenge that you just endured here, and we're going to jump right into it. So first, did you have any initial thoughts going into it? You know, you signed up pretty quickly. Well, you didn't seem to have many reservations.
No reservations. I saw you put that post out, and I said, that's me. I'm your guy. I was thinking about, Costco's right across the street from work. Good, easy lunch. Let's just chicken bake it up.
So that was probably part of the reasoning for you. It's so close and easy. You could get over to Costco anytime you want to.
Oh, yeah.
So pre-chicken bake challenge, how often, I mean, would you go to Costco food court for lunch? Like, was that a regular thing?
Oh, I did that a couple times before it got to be freezing every day. Kind of stopped in the winter. Probably wouldn't have done it again until the spring if this hadn't come up, but it wasn't unknown to me.
Okay.
Right. So in 7 days, what was your total chicken bake count? Your final count of chicken bakes in 7 days?
Final count 26. I almost stopped at 23, but I had to get that nice over a quarter of 100.
Yeah,
Strong.
Good even number.
So you're at 3.714 bakes per day in the bake counter. 3.74 bakes per day. That's pretty respectable. We'll see how the other guys land on this, but I think that's a solid number, eating almost 4 of those every single day for a week.
You know, it's basically all your protein for the day anyway, so at 3.7.
Yes. Yeah, you're getting a quick easy math rundown on protein there. You're 180-ish grams of protein probably. How many calories? 800 times 4 is 30. So you're about 3,000 calories there.
Yeah, it's about a perfect day, 3.7 chicken bakes.
Okay. How did you feel by the end of it?
You know, it was a roller coaster. So I started strong that first day with 5 chicken bakes. Let me tell you, that second day was not a good day. So I scaled it back and I ramped back up, and I was back to 5 by the end. But I was up about 10 pounds on that last day, and it was 100% water. Gotta say, my digestive tract was not happy, but my squats were flying. So, you win some, you lose.
Life's all about balance, right?
Tommy, do you want to take a couple
yeah. I'm just looking at our question list. So what was the hardest part of eating nothing but chicken bakes for 7 days?
The thirst. I don't think I've ever drank so much water in my life. So we did the math on the protein and the calories, but it's 13 grams of sodium a day. That is a lot of sodium. And I think I was I was at Costco, so I got my spicy waters there while I was there, and I think I went through 3 racks of those over the course of the week.
Man.
So
that's plenty.
I think that was the hardest part, was just not turning into a raisin. And drinking that much water, I was still like, I need more.
Yeah.
That's all.
What was the easiest part of nothing but chicken bakes for 7 days?
Hitting my macros, Didn't even have to think about it. Just go in. If I'm hungry, eat that, and I'm going to be set.
Yeah. How long until you're going to want to have another chicken bake?
So the guys at work found out about this. I think actually through social media. So they've asked me to bring in a couple on Friday, and we're gonna have a chicken bake off. So I might have to have a few bites on Friday, but it might be a little while otherwise.
You should.
I don't know.
A real power move would be just to show up with 5 just for yourself again, and just be like, watch, guys, I'm gonna eat 5.
Sorry,
right
guys,
now.
this is just for me.
What would you say to someone if they wanted to try the 7-day chicken bake challenge? What would you have any advice for them?
Don't start with 5. Work your way up.
Yeah, that's good.
We said no food additives. The one thing that I think would have made it a lot more enjoyable was just fiber. Just preload the week before with like all the fiber you can find. Then, just let it rip.
Could you ever see yourself doing the chicken bake challenge ever again?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
You'd probably sign up tomorrow. We said, all right, we're doing 7 more days, 3 more guys. Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually like we're just running a joke. We're just going to see how long we can just keep it going. Like who taps out first.
There we go.
One last question. What were the BMs like? What was the poos like? Anything of note or just regular business as usual?
After day 2, the toilet at home was not an option. Third party neutral location only. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Did anyone at Costco start to recognize you? Did you start to make friends with anyone in the food court?
The food court, shockingly, no. I think they're just slinging them out so fast.
You're right.
But the guys at the front, they would see me walk in through the exit and be like, "Oh, I know where he's going."
Yeah. Classic.
Food court guys too busy, I guess. But
yeah. Well done. Congratulations to you. I guess we gotta put our money where our mouth is now. So grand total dollar-wise at $3.99 for 27 chicken bakes. 26. You ate $107.73 worth of chicken bakes.
I'll admit that was part of the incentive of not finishing at 23. Got to get the Massenomics guys to shell out $100. Couldn't also come that close and not get it.
That's still a pretty cheap. You ate for a week for $100 and you ate out for a week for $108.
Sure, I went to an exclusive members only club for a meal for a week.
Yes.
$100. Come on.
Yeah, that's really not bad when you think about it that
way. Why did I stop?
Well done. We applaud you. And we'll see you in July, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Looking forward to it, Sam.
See you then.
Thanks a lot.
There he is. It's Hawaiian Day on the Chicken Bake Challenge.
Always, yep.
All right, and we can hear you. You can hear us. Okay. Did you see our conversation with Big Sam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
We don't want his answers to influence you too much, but you're going to hear a lot of the same questions. So, what were your thoughts going into it? We saw for you, I would say there was a bunch of people saying this guy needs to be in it. So I had to reach out and be like, it sounds like you need to be in it. So what were you thinking going into it?
So for me, like 5 chicken bakes a day already hit my macros for what I wanted to do. That's 260 grams of protein. That's about 4,000, just over 4,000 calories. So that was, for me, pretty perfect, is what I thought it would be. So going into it, I was like, this a week of free food for a heavyweight. That's great.
What did you end up with for a total bake count?
32.
32, a new record.
Yeah. So it was for the first day, and then it was 5, 5, 6, 5, 5, 5, and then 3. I don't remember, but yeah, last day was 3 because it was I was done.
Yeah, for number's sake, you came in at 4.6 bakes per day was your BPD rating, 4.6. So how did you feel by the end of it?
Not great, it was hard for me because I'm so used to having like fruit and just fast carbs in general, and the lack of 1, fiber, and 2, simple sugar was not good. It was bad overall for my well-being.
So what was the monotony of it tough, or was it more just the nutrition?
Oh no, that part was super easy. I liked that part actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty simple, and I actually ended up losing weight doing it. So,
well, this is like your Subway commercial right here. Lose weight eating nothing but chicken bakes.
pounds in that week, which, as far as weight loss goes, is what you would want, right?
Right. So what was the hardest part for you?
Again, like just the no sugar thing was really weird or really hard for me, especially around working out and things like that. And then, also I didn't think about it in the moment, but I have urinated more this week than I think I ever have, and I didn't put it together because it was like, I was only counting the calories. I wasn't keeping track of the sodium, but it makes sense now.
Yeah. So what was the easiest part of it then?
The easiest part was not having to track anything really, because like again, it lined up. My diet is mostly chicken quesadillas anyway, so like this was just the tube version of that. So
even easier to carry around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy 10 at a time and heat them up in the oven, and they actually reheat pretty well. So,
Little pro tip there.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
How long do you think until you eat another Costco chicken bake?
At least 5 days. Yeah, I shop at Costco, so it'll be at least until I have to buy more chicken.
Okay.
What would you say to someone if they thought about trying the chicken bake challenge?
For me, I think it would be actually just hopping off sugar sooner, because again, that the chicken bake mood stabilizer problem is what I ran into, where it's just like it was like I ate nothing but oatmeal for a week. I was just flat the whole time.
Right.
So I used to that in the before.
Did the people at Costco at the food court, did they start to recognize you at all coming in there?
The only person that started to recognize me was someone that I went to high school with. And so immediately I walked in the first day and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And it's like, "Well, it's a grocery store, man." But anyway, it's like, okay. Yeah, it was good.
What was your poop like?
Consistent is the right word. Like there was nothing changed until I didn't think it was a problem until I started eating actual food again. So my first meal back was like half a pound of blackberries and cod. And so
I feel like that's really taken it to your digestive tract right away. That's the introductory meal.
I was punishing myself. Yes, I thought it would be good, but no, it was bad. So, yeah, so it was very
You were craving fruit then, it sounds like, when you were on it. That's probably would have been like the number one thing you were after.
For sure. Just any sugar, like a sweet tea sounded like heaven,
Mm-hmm. Would you ever do it again?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I like it.
Excellent. Well, we definitely owe you. Oh, we got to do the math. What was your total number of bakes again? Remind me. 32.
Yeah.
At $3.99, we are going to be owing Big Matthew $127.68.
Very cool. I can sign up for a competition.
That'll obviously be an in-store credit, of course, for Massenomics.
Yep.
Just kidding, maybe. We will have our people reach out to you, and by our people, I just mean me.
Yeah,
we don't
Tanner.
have people.
That will be Tanner. Yeah. Tanner is our people.
So congratulations. Well done. We appreciate. I'm glad we have athletes like you around to take on things like this.
Of course, absolutely. Whenever you need something.
All right. Thanks, Big Matthew.
Good job.
Yep.
Big Grayson, are we only going to get audio out of him?
Yeah, no dice. Sorry, fellas. Okay. I thought I had things working, but yeah.
Nope, that's fine.
We'll make it work as is. So you probably kind of missed most of Sam and Matthew's answers, so that's good actually. You're not being tainted by what they had to say.
Right.
We'll let you know how you stack up compared to them. So first of all, I think you were the first to sign up and be committed to this even. What were your thoughts going into it? It didn't take you very long to sign up.
Yeah, so I saw it immediately and I texted Hannah and another buddy and I'm like, oh, this sounds like absolutely ridiculous. Like I maybe got to get in on this. And then I saw you had I think it was in the Discord you mentioned that Sam had took the spot, and I was like, damn it. And Big Af in the Discord was like, oh well, we need to get more than one person. So he had texted you, and he got the okay, quick Snapchat of me like, dude, you need to sign up right now. And I'm like, all right, I'm doing it. It's done deal.
Good peer pressure move by a fellow supporting member Big Af. I think he's redeeming himself from when we were in Crew Falls. I did notice he was babysitting a coat one evening, so this is a good comeback story for him. Getting on the right side of history.
Redemption arc.
Yeah.
So what was your total bake count for the 7 days? Where did you land?
I came in at a little weird number at 21 and a half.
Okay. So 21.5 bakes over 7 days is we'll round up 3.1 bakes per day, just breaking the 3 bakes a day number.
3 squares a day.
Yep.
And I do think of our participants, you are the lightest of the 3 also. So I do think it followed the bakes per day. I think Sam, I don't know if you heard, he was at about 3.7, and Big Matthew was at 4.6 bakes per day is what he came in at on this. So you went against some tough competition.
That's impressive. That's some big bacon going on there.
Yes.
Yeah. Could you imagine yourself putting down like 10 more?
No, there were a few days where I could have done 4, but I split mine up into 3 meals because I always eat breakfast, and some of those ones in the morning were questionable at best around 7 a.m.
How did you feel by the end of it? At the end of these 7 days,
I feel like Big Matt said it the best. I thought I would feel worse than I did. If I were to do it again, the first thing I would ask is if I could take a fiber supplement.
That seems to be the common thread.
We weren't at a full work stoppage, but my toilet definitely saw me less over the course of a week.
So what was the hardest part for you?
Honestly, like probably my meal timings, because I usually eat like 5 or 6 times a day, and I knew there's no way I could do 5 or 6 chicken bakes a day, even like a half. I always eat before I go to the gym. I'm like, wow, I don't think I can lift on a mid-afternoon bake.
Let me put down this chicken bake quick before I go to the gym. Yeah.
What was the easiest part for you?
Honestly, taste-wise, they were all really good. Even like the morning ones. I just wasn't hungry, but they all tasted well. So, I mean, overall, they went down really smooth.
And do you also feel that they reheat pretty well?
Oh, absolutely. I reheated mine 3 different ways, and Big Jeff from the Discord had actually said, I think it was last night, throwing them in the air fryer, and I totally forgot that would have been my 4th way. Microwave was easily the worst, but it was still fine.
So what were the other ways?
In the oven, I did quite a bit, and then pizzazz was actually my favorite.
Oh yeah,
I like the pizzazz route. Yeah,
that was my favorite. It almost got it a little crispier,
mm-hmm.
So it was pretty good.
What was the easiest part of the challenge?
Well, I mean, I guess for me, the taste, like getting them down.
Did I ask?
Yeah, I think that's what we said, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. How long?
That reminds me. What was the easiest part of the challenge?
Now that I think about it, could you answer this?
So, anyways,
how long until you want to try another chicken bake?
It's gonna be a while.
Like more than 5 days.
More than a week, maybe 2 or ask me in 2 or 3. I think would be fine.
Yeah,
but a month later, it's gonna be fair game for sure.
Oh yeah, we go to Costco every other Friday, so there's a high chance our next grocery trip I'm getting another chicken bake.
What would you say to someone if they were thinking about trying the 7-day chicken bake challenge?
As anabolic as they are, you really can't afford not to.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Did anyone at Costco start to recognize you throughout the process?
No, Hannah and I had talked about that on the way there, and I didn't recognize any of the people serving the food, so I was a little disappointed about that. But my favorite part was probably explaining to everyone in my life why I was eating chicken bakes for a week. My mom's reaction was actually probably the best. She messaged me on Instagram about it, and she just said, "What the hell? Why?" I just kind of left it there.
I feel like explaining it only opens it up for more questions, actually.
Yeah, yeah. It's like explaining Massenomics is one thing,
Yeah.
but explaining why it adds a whole nother layer that I can't really convey properly.
You talked about the poop a little bit, maybe that you weren't pooping as frequently. What else about, like, what were the poops okay that did come out, or was there weirdness to it?
Not a lot of volume. I questioned if my body was defying the laws of thermodynamics and being 100% efficient.
Yeah, it was just running too efficiently.
Yeah, utilization's 100%.
That's the chicken bake for you.
Yeah. I did see that Sam gained, I think, 8 pounds. He had mentioned.
Yeah, and I think he said it was all water.
Yeah, I actually lost 2 pounds and my blood pressure went down because I thought it'd be funny to check my blood pressure as well. I mean, there's obviously multiple factors there, but
no, I think there's only one factor here. It's the chicken bake.
I mean, you heard it here first, really.
Big Matthew, you might not have heard it, but he lost weight too. So we had 2 of the 3 lose weight, 1 gain weight. Your blood pressure improved. Sam's leg size grew from it. So a lot of positives I hear coming out.
I'm not sure I've heard a negative actually in this whole thing so far.
The data doesn't lie.
Oh. Would you ever do it again? 7 days of nothing but chicken bakes?
Yeah, I would, definitely.
Seems like everyone said they would do it again.
They all did. They all did.
Yeah, it was definitely worth it.
It's like, I mean, if you're the first astronaut to go to the moon, would you do it again? You're like, yeah, of course. I'm famous now. Like, why would I not do that again?
Right, yeah.
I like all the astronaut comparisons to you guys. Like all the where the 3 of you together are like a few good, like you guys have the right stuff.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a special bond now between these other 2 guys that you've never met?
Your chicken bake brethren.
Yeah, and I wasn't even following Sam, and I hadn't met Matt yet, so I got them both on Instagram now. It's forged a bond.
Yeah, that you could never be broken. No matter what happens from the rest of your guys' lives, the 3 of you will always be the chicken bake, pioneers kind of in this challenge.
Right.
Yeah, that's special. Bake brothers, as Sam would say. Bake brothers.
Bake brothers.
Getting baked.
So what's Grayson's total come out to, Tanner?
Yeah, his dollar total, you said 21.5 bakes at $3.99, consumed $85.79 worth of chicken bakes here. So, and if I add up then all 3 chicken bakes, Grayson was 21.5. Matthew was 32. And what was Big Sam? Was he 25 or 26?
I think he said 25, 20, okay, 26 right there, yeah.
So we got 79.5 chicken bakes at $3.99, $317.21 of chicken bakes between the 3.
Jeez, for 3 guys to eat as much as they want in a whole week.
About $100 a piece. Yeah.
It's cheap.
And Grayson, I don't know if you heard the great news that reimbursement will be coming in the form of Massenomics discounts and online credits. So great news for you.
That's better than I expected.
Just kidding. Maybe we'll see. We'll have our people contact your people on that.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to it.
Okay. Awesome. Well, job well done to you and all of the Bake Brothers.
Wonderful. Thanks for having me, fellas.
Thanks a lot, guys.
See you, Big Grayson.
We'll see ya.
Oh, great. Now we can finally talk about how we're not actually going to pay any of them back.
Oh, yeah. Our credit card has been reported for fraud. So we're kind of going through something right now, but we'll get you sometime.
Yeah, we'll get you a beer next time you're around. We'll get you a beer. All of you. We'll get you a beer.
Yeah. We'll get you a beer too when we see you next.
We'll get you a slice of za and a brewski.
Mm-hmm. Call it even.
And a free day pass at Massenomics Gym next time you're in Western Northeast South Dakota.
Okay, it's getting a little too valuable now.
Yeah. I feel we're joking about that. We are going to pay these people as we agreed, of course. But I feel like, 50% of the people and businesses that operate in the, lifting-ish space would maybe not pay on that.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like they would do a thing and then be like, yeah, we're not giving you money. like they would just then ghost you. You know, like
yes, totally. You know what's the other along those lines? I know we've talked about this. I'm not sure we ever talked about it on the podcast. It's actually comical when businesses run contests, how low their prizes are for contests.
Yeah.
You look at, I mean, even
like the size of businesses,
even
too,
local businesses that are, let's just say, multi-million-dollar businesses will run a contest and the prize is like $100 prize. It's like, really, this is all you could come up with in the marketing department, or like even multi-billion-dollar businesses will need you for a survey. Like I get things all the time, more from like design stuff, like software that I have, but like these are multi-billion-dollar, multinational companies, and it's like, take this survey. You'll be entered into a chance for $100 Amazon gift card. It's like, oh my God, I'm glad the marketing department felt so generous to get me to take their survey.
Right.
And I'm sure in the bigger companies, especially, they've done the math and like, at a certain point, offering $100 versus $500 doesn't encourage
get
more.
more to sign up, right?
But you just see these things and it's comical. Like, oh, yep, this business, it's been local for 100 years. They have 110 employees. And they're running a contest this week and the winner can get $200. And you're like, man, you guys are just too generous.
And we're little, I don't want to minimize what Massenomics is, but we're a side bit, we both have full-time jobs. This is our business that we do on the side of our work. And we've given away $500 prize. We've given away Texas Power Bars.
Usually when we give away a $500 prize, we have like 5 runners-ups that also all get prizes too.
Yes. So yeah, sometimes that's lame.
Or we're just that awesome, I guess.
That's probably the bigger takeaway here, I suppose, isn't it?
That is the takeaway.
Tommy, you were saying you're kind of a movie guy now after you got your new TV.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's find out, is Tommy kind of a movie guy?
Here we go. Most recent movie I watched, WALL-E. Pretty damn good. I had not seen WALL-E yet.
WALL-E.
WALL-E. Maybe that's probably top 3 Pixar movies for me. WALL-E. I really enjoyed that.
I haven't seen that for a long time. So you're saying that WALL-E's probably underrated because I don't know if it's.
I think it is. I thought it was really good. I really liked it.
Is there a deeper message to WALL-E?
Oh yeah,
it's been a really long
that's
time.
maybe
what is it? There's something there. I can't remember though.
Because the planet has been destroyed by essentially overconsumption.
Right.
He's just a trash compactor robot that just builds cubes, and then he gains. It's actually kind of amazing how it's this robot that gains, consciousness, and then he gets his robot companion when the new one comes, and then he goes, and then it totally riffs off of the 2001 HAL, the computer stopping the people from doing what it wants them to do. Like there's levels of that. So yeah, if you're into sci-fi stuff at all, it's very rewarding. It's a good watch.
Yeah. So, but that's just one movie. What we have to find out is specifically, we're going back to an old game here as long as we've got time today. So we have checked on you from the years 1987 to 2001, plus a couple of special editions in there. Today, we're going to go forward in time a year to your benefit. We're going to go to 2002 instead of to 1986.
Here we go.
So probably setting you up better for more success than if we go to 1986.
Yep.
So 2002.
How many movies are we doing?
We're going to do 7 as we typically do. Do you have a guess?
I'm going to do 5. I'm going to say 5 here.
I would guess you're probably going to hit 5.
I was starting to hit prime movie watching age.
I did pull Gold Member out of the...
Yeah,
Gold member out.
Yeah, that can't be
because we talk about Austin Powers all
obvious.
The time. So, and I left other things though. Like there's some probably ones that you've probably seen in here, but that's the game. We got to find out. Sometimes I think, oh, you had to have seen that, and then you haven't seen it. So, has Tommy seen it? 2002 edition. Has Tommy seen it? Gangs of New York.
Oh, I actually have never seen this movie. I've seen. Does it start with the big fight scene? Is that the start of it?
It for sure, like, I don't know, maybe it like starts and comes back to that.
Okay. Or maybe that's just the only part I've seen. I've seen a good chunk of this.
It starts with a big fight scene. Yes, it does start with a big fight scene because it's the old fight. You know, it's been a while since I've seen.
Not like the rest of the movie, which is new, right?
Right. No, like, no. I mean, I'm just thinking in the timeline of the movie because it's, I think it's Leonardo DiCaprio is a kid at the time of this opening fight scene, and then he grows up and
I remember seeing the fight.
Spoiler,
I mean, a long time ago, but I do remember seeing that fight scene. But I have not actually seen the movie.
It's got quite the cast. Actually, I just pulled it up. And Daniel Day-Lewis, Leonardo DiCaprio, Cameron Diaz, Liam Neeson. And then like a lot of John C. Reilly, it goes on actually,
yeah,
but
that's
it is quite the cast. Daniel Day-Lewis, like,
and what's the runtime on this thing? I feel like it was a long movie.
I do think it is, right?
Here we go. Run time 2 hours 47 minutes. Yeah, that was a long one.
Yeah. So you have not seen it.
I have
for 1.
not.
I figured you had probably seen that one, but I
know.
wasn't sure. That one's worth. Gangs of New York is a good.
Oh, I'd love to watch it. Just haven't done it
Good
yet.
movie from what I remember. It's been a little while, but 0 for 1 here. We'll see if you can't redeem yourself in the comedy scene. A man that's made this game several times not overrated, underrated. Have you seen it, Mr. Deeds?
Yes, I've seen Mr. Deeds. Yep, seen that one a bunch. Been a long time since I've seen it, but I have seen it multiple times.
It's been a while.
Yep.
I assumed you saw Mr. Deeds.
That's a
I
classic.
pretty much felt like I knew that you have seen Mr. Deeds.
That was when that was when Adam Sandler was still pumping out movies that everyone got really excited about.
Yeah. Mr. Deeds, I know I've talked about it on the podcast before, but I love the butler foot scene with it's just hilarious. I love the butler foot
the
scene.
foot one. And then what's the town? Isn't it like a Winchestertonville, whatever? It's like the most made up name.
Is what it is.
He finds it. Yeah.
And then isn't that where they all have Corvettes?
I
think. And it's like the crazy eyed guy.
Oh Crazy Eyes. Yeah,
Isn't it like Steve Buscemi?
Steve Buscemi. He's like, it's that when he wants the spaghetti and meatball pizza or whatever. Oh, he's like, oh, my favorite spaghetti and meatball. It's something dumb.
Yeah.
Or spaghetti and gumball. I think it's something really dumb like that.
Okay, so you're 1-1. So has Tommy seen it? 40 Days and 40 Nights from 2002.
Is that Josh Hartnett? Is that who's in that
I
one?
think so, yeah. And the premise is I think he doesn't have sex for 40 days.
I believe so. Isn't it a Lent thing? He's such a ladies' man. He has to lay off of sexual encounters for just slightly over a month.
40 days and 40 nights with no sex. I call that being married.
No, have you seen that movie?
Yes, I have seen 40 Days and 40 Nights. I'm not even proud of saying yes to that, but I have seen 40 Days
Best
and
Josh
40
Hartnett movie. Do you want to know what it is?
Is he in any of the was he in any of the scary movies?
Actually, I can't say best Josh Hartnett movie because I've seen I'm just looking. I've seen almost none of the movies he was in. But 30 Days of Night, that movie was pretty badass.
Wait a second. He was in a movie called 30 Days of Night.
It actually is. Yes, he was in 40 Days and 40
I thought you were
Nights.
just saying the same title, just slightly.
It is a little different, though. Instead of women trying to seduce you, you have vampires trying to suck your blood. So it's slightly different.
Okay.
Not a whole lot.
I haven't seen that movie.
Oh, it's so good. It's a great premise. It's a town in Alaska, where they don't get sunlight, and when winter hits and they have like 30 days of night, it's just dark all the time. Well, that's when the vampires descend on the village to attack everyone because they have free reign for 30 days. So they got to try to survive a month with the vampires attacking them. It was a good one.
The best movies, as I'm looking through it, the best movies are the ones that you wouldn't call him a Josh Hartnett movie. His best movies are Pearl Harbor and Black Hawk Down. Like Black Hawk Down is the best movie on this list, but that's not a Josh Hartnett movie.
No.
He's a piece of the puzzle there, and he's in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, see, and I haven't seen that yet, but I didn't know that either. He was very much like the guy at about this time, though, wasn't it? Like 30 days or 40 Days and 40 Nights. Like to me, that was like peak Josh Hartnett.
Oh yeah,
he's
in a shitload of movies from 99 to 2005.
Here's my other. I had to just see this as a funny note. Here's a story I have about Josh Hartnett. One of my roommates in college, when I went with him and we went to the Twin Cities for a weekend. And the twins. And we stayed at one of his friend's house. And while we were at this friend's house, they had a picture of Josh Hartnett with them on their fridge. And I'm like, whoa, what's this about? And Josh Hartnett was this person's cousin. And then I'm looking here, and Josh Hartnett is from St. Paul, Minnesota. So the story checks out.
All these years later, doing a little research.
Comes full circle.
Okay. So you're one yes and 2 no. So you got to run the table.
I do.
Ooh, I don't know if you're going to run the table. I was thinking Gangs in New York was a yes. We'll get to it there. We'll just find out. Stop speculating. We'll get to the action. Have you seen it? Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
What one's that one?
I believe it is the second movie.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen the first 2 for sure. I cannot remember if I've seen the third, but I know I've seen the first 2.
Figured this was a yes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you could almost made it through being about our age and not seeing this first couple. You definitely could eventually got out of that, but for the first few, you just had to see it. So we're going with a yes on that.
Yeah.
I've seen them all because I've watched them like with my son.
I'd like to do it someday, and I'm sure I will. Just haven't done it yet.
Yeah. So you're 2 and 2 with 3 to go. So has Tommy seen it from 2002? Die Another Day. Die Another Day is a Pierce Brosnan James Bond film. Yeah.
If you told me to say the most James Bond movies I've seen, I would say I've seen Pierce Brosnan
here
the
you
most.
Go. It's Halle Berry is in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have seen that one then.
It's him. You know, she comes out of I'm just watching
the pool.
A little thing on it to see. Yeah, she comes out and she's wearing like an orange bikini or something like that. So do you think you've seen that one?
I think I have seen that one. Yep.
Okay.
She was also like the girl for a while too.
Yeah. So you're saying yes?
Yes, I have seen that one.
Okay. So what are you at? 3 yeses and 2 nos? Okay.
Yes.
All right, next one. Back to a comedy. The Hot Chick. Have you seen it?
Rob Schneider is the hot chick.
Rob Schneider is a stapler.
It's the one I said, it's me, Jessica.
That was the hot chick. Yeah, right.
So I have seen the hot chick. I don't remember it very well now, but it is funny. I mean, it's Rob Schneider. He's funny.
Rob Schneider. Okay. So last one, you could still hit 5. And I don't know if we haven't played Has He Seen It for a while, but I don't know if you remember, there's kind of a theme here on the final one. A lot of time, as much as possible, the final one is an Arnold movie.
Oh, that's
and it's
right.
Fun. It's been out of like the 14 we've done. Oddly enough, like 10 of them have been able to be Arnold movies as the last one.
Mean,
so
he was one of the biggest movie stars in the world for quite a while.
Yep. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not feeling confident.
I'm not confident in this already.
Yeah, so Has He Seen It? Collateral Damage, Arnold movie.
I don't think so.
You'll have to look it up.
I know. I have to see the picture. No, I have not seen this. Nope.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Total Recall, actually, when you were saying Collateral Damage. But, yeah, I've not seen Collateral Damage.
I don't think, to be fair, I don't think I have also seen Collateral Damage. You know, it just looks like an Arnold movie, is what I would say. If you looked at the cover and a few of the pictures, him in
yeah, I mean, the cover is
a lot of explosions
his
and
face with flames and a chopper.
What movie does he say get to the chopper in?
That's in wasn't that in Predator? Didn't I say?
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, but it's just funny that the cover of this is an exploding chopper and stuff, so it just looks like every Arnold movie, but Collateral Damage, you have not seen it.
No, never saw it.
So we are at 4 out of 7 for 2002.
Damn it. Just escaped me.
Still not a bad. 4 of 7 is not bad. For 2001, you were 5 of 7.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, you went 99, 2000, 2001. You went 5 of 7 on each of those.
Yeah, that was hitting the hot
The hard
streak
one there is Collateral Damage. Like, I think still a pretty popular movie, not like an obscure movie.
Yeah. Oh, the name definitely sticks out to me as being a movie that people talked about. But I'd say the biggest miss would be Gangs of New York for sure.
Yeah.
The other one you could say, it was more of a chick flick, so whatever. But,
right. 40 days, but certainly like everyone knew
culturally
that movie,
relevant.
You know?
Yes,
right,
that was. I remember seeing previews for that movie and people talking about it and everything, but never saw it.
Okay. 4 of 7. Has he seen it on the comeback? If you've been waiting along for weeks and weeks and months for Has He Seen It, episode 408 was your lucky episode.
Your dreams are coming true.
Yeah. What did you did you have did I write down tattoos?
Oh no, I wrote that down. Dude,
I don't know what I would say about tattoos.
So actually I'm coming I don't have any tattoos. Tanner, you have a couple. Not many, but you have a couple. It's been many years.
Also haven't gotten one for
that was gonna be my question. When was the last tattoo you got? What
That makes me feel really old when I think about how many years it's actually been since I got a tattoo. I'm pretty sure it's been 17 or 18 years since I've got a tattoo.
That sounds crazy when you say that.
Yeah, it's almost been 20. In just a couple of years, it will have been 20 years since I've gotten a tattoo.
Wow.
Although I really want to get some tattoos.
Like you've had more of your life actually with tattoos than you've had without tattoos. Oh, actually, that was the other thing I was going to say. You're podcasting on your birthday tonight, Tanner. How special does that feel?
It is my birthday. It is. Has this ever happened for? We're
know.
always at the Arnold for your birthday.
We are always at the Arnold for mine. Yes, I don't know.
It seems weird that this wouldn't have happened that we podcast on my birthday before, but also it's a 1 in 7 chance each year.
Well, and even then, it just depends on what's going to be going on that week too.
Right. Maybe we never have before. I don't ever recall talking about it. Yeah, I'm 37 today. 37, which is interesting in the fact that I'm now not officially yet, but halfway through this year, I will be then closer to 40 than 35. Like I'm getting almost closer to 40 than 35, which seems like it's definitely closer to 40 than 30, but I already was. But then it's funny thinking I'm going to eventually soon here be closer to 40 than 35.
Those number games you can start to play with yourself. If I'm closer to this or I'm farther away from this than I am from this, you can start to put yourself in this vicious spiral of aging.
I was it's been talk about how busy we are all the time. That's a YouTube video that I think actually that came out just before this. We were kind of tips for people that are busy. I've been really, really busy with everything, like work, life, Massenomics, all of it. But someone asked me, about my birthday today and asked me how I'm feeling. And I'd be like, honestly, even for how crazy busy I am, I feel great. Like I feel like way younger than, if you say I'm 37, something about it, I feel much younger than that still. Like I feel, or I just don't feel any different. Maybe I wouldn't say, I don't know if I feel younger, but I just feel like I haven't, nothing, like I'm not ever feeling older other than my body at times like fights me a little more on stuff, but just like, I'm not really talking about my body. I'm talking about like my mindset kind of. And I feel young. I feel like I am able to act and be a way that I'm not growing old.
I 100% agree with you. If someone were to ask me, I would say on the majority of days, I kind of feel like I've felt the same for the last 10 plus years, you know? On my worst days, I would say my body definitely feels it more than it used to.
Right.
But never like destroyed. Even when I say I have back pain and hip pain and all these other things, it still is never like to the point of like, oh, I'm in crippling pain. My quality of life is diminished. Like
it's more like, I can't squat the way I want to squat because my back.
Yeah. It's like, for a couple days, like I might be in situations where I have mild pain, but I know like it will pass. And the reminder of that is, and we've talked about this before, is you just go to a function where your children are together with other people's parents, and you're like, I for real can't tell if you're the parent, the grandparent,
or the grandparent.
I just don't even know anymore. And I'm like, I don't think anyone has that confusion when they see me, but there's a lot of people I get that confusion with, and I think I'm glad I'm not in that situation.
And I know I've mentioned this before, but I particularly I've had that feeling for years with our oldest because he's 12 going on 13 now, and we're younger we're literally are younger than most of our peer parents for those activities. We're almost always the young. Like I can't even really think of a scenario where there's parents younger than us in those groups. So we literally are the youngest, but some of them feel so old to me that I'm like, you are far more like a generation or two beyond me than like you're only 5 years older than me, but you Like there's just something about you, and
Do
it's
you
not
know
even
what
an
the
exact.
internet is?
Yeah, like it's just
where's
like,
our common ground at? Where do we go?
Right,
Here?
right. And I make fun of myself as being like on hip on. So it's not even that too. It's just like this general thought. It's like almost like I don't even know how to. I really have a hard time putting it into words. But you just see the people, and you're like, you just seem like an old person already. Like you've just accepted that you're old, and you're just gonna do the thing of being an old person. You know,
totally. Yes.
And I feel like I'm not doing that. You know, I'm not doing that. I feel like even with my kids that you know, my son that's a baby right now, by the time 10 years from now, I'm still gonna be like kind of this is
with
the
it.
same. You know, maybe that's an ignorant
But no, but it's like, but that's, I mean, at this point, we both have the momentum going. Something very odd would have to happen for us to just totally, and when I say like have a total shift, I'm thinking like gain massive amounts of weight, get out of shape.
Right.
Like just,
that's part of it too. Just like what your physique kind of, but just like your appearance. Like, do you do anything? Like, have you done anything in 10 years? Or did you just accept like, no, I'm a big old fat guy now. So that's like what I do.
Yes. And there's a difference between being big, like being heavy, but you can tell when someone, and actually this almost ties into what I was going to talk about here, but there's an enormous difference between someone that's overweight, but you can tell also is active and strong, and someone that's just sloppy overweight. There's a huge difference there.
There is a difference. Yeah. There is a big difference. My other this is a heavy thought segment on it. It was just because we have been really busy, and sometimes you get stressed out when you're that busy. Of course, everyone does. And like, you know, in my specific situation, it's as of late, some of it's kid related because we got 4 of them. One's a baby, and it's the best, but sometimes it's just stressful too, you know. And you know, her comment just the other day was like, oh, these days don't last, you know, they won't be forever. And I'm like, that is really true. Like when I'm coming in and I feel a little bit grumpy to begin with, if I think of that, like, oh, these days won't last forever, I'm like, that is really true.
Oh, I know.
And like even just thinking of that simple thing does really help me. Like it's not it's not a cure all to be just being like overtired all the time, but it does help me reframe it and start things with a more positive look. I'm like, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That I'm like, time goes by so fast. It'll be 5 years from now before I know it. And then I'll be like, oh, that wasn't so bad. You know, like I shouldn't have, what was I grumpy about that such tiny little, no big deal problem for, you know?
I totally agree. We were talking about this tonight. We were going to get our kids, and my wife said, she goes, you know, what's really funny is that like to us, this is just another random kind of boring run of the mill day. And to us, our kids are like, oh, this like it's, remember when you'd always pick me up at daycare, mommy? Like, oh, remember when daddy came and got me that? Like, you know, like it just like for them every day is like a big thing. You know, something happens that day and it's noteworthy to them. And for us, for the most part, a lot of days, just like, well, this kind of is another day. We're just going through the motions. You know, there are things that stand out, but it's nothing crazy. And it's like, no, like when you're that new, every day is remarkable in its own little way. And so, and now also like when my boy tells stories and he's like, oh yeah, he remembers this from 3 months ago, 6 months ago, whatever. You're like, now you actually are at the point where you do you have a this, chronological memory. Like you can remember things going back. So like days are starting to stick out to you as being special as well.
Right. Yeah. It's good perspective. Like this morning, my kindergartner, she said, we were talking about it being my birthday. And she's like, yeah, I don't like your birthdays as much. And I was like, oh, what do you know, it's kind of a funny thing to say. I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, we never like have parties or do anything fun. And I'm like, oh, that's true. And, you know, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of when you get older, you don't do as much usually. But then tonight we did, like to kind of show her wrong. We kind of like, wasn't a party, but we just like all set up at the table and like kind of made her think it was a party. And it was just us, just like kind of tricking her into thinking it was a party. I'm not saying deviously tricking her into it, but like tricking her in the sense that she's now having fun at this thing
like
because she thinks
this day is
like,
special.
Like,
actually.
oh, this is a party, But then she's like, "Where are the presents?" And I'm like, well, then it's like
you said, "Yeah, no kidding.
Oh,
where are they?"
I'm like, great question. As a matter of fact, where the hell are the presents? So that's a heavy thought segment.
Yes, and the birthday segment.
My takeaway in general, though, is like you don't have to, even as that's a sub-masters / masters thought process, is you don't have to really, you get older in age, but you don't really have to be older.
No, it's pretty simple now. It's just take care of yourself moderately. That's going to do you the biggest favor. Yep. Number 2 is like, I don't know, just don't hate on everything. That's right. That's from the generation younger than you, because realize that people did the exact same thing for your generation.
Even if
the
it all
generation
sounds
before.
the same to you.
Even if it all sounds the same, you can't hate on it all, because now you're just being an old person. And it's easier than ever to keep up with what the trends are. You just have an Instagram account and you can follow a couple pages. They'll let you know sort of what's going on. So you don't have to be totally out of the loop.
Yep. So what about tattoos?
So
18 years ago, I got a tattoo.
You got your first tattoo. Yeah, you got a couple tattoos. You know, you're a little bit of a tattoo guy, too.
I would like to get more tattoos. My wife is back to getting more tattoos again now. You can't get them when you're pregnant and breastfeeding and stuff like that. And she's actually just got a recent tattoo again here. And every time she gets one, I'm like, I would really like to get some tattoos, but I can't commit to the time of like scheduling that seems insane that I'm like, no, I don't want to block off like 2 hours, but I'm like, I don't really have like an extra
tattoos
2
are funny.
hours for it.
It's like, I don't have any, and I still really don't have, I could see myself potentially getting them someday. I just still don't really have that much of a desire to get, it's just not high on my priority list.
Right.
But like when like my brother, he went from having none to, I don't know.
It kind of has like arm sleeves. I would almost
say. He basically has
full
full sleeves. I mean, I don't know. Ryan probably has.
It's hard for me even to think about it because I just don't think about it. So
I don't either. Well, also like when we were talking about this one day, like who has tattoos, and you're like, you had to think because you don't even really register as people having tattoos anymore, just because everyone kind of has them. You have to think about it.
Like Justin in the gym. Like I thought about, someone asked me about him one day, and I'm like, he either has completely covered arms and tattoos, or he doesn't have any. I can't remember.
Doesn't he have like a full chest piece or something like that?
Yeah, he has a whole bunch of tattoos.
Yeah,
but at the time, I was like, I'm not. He seems like he has tattoos, but if I really pictured, I'm like, I'm not sure if he does or not.
Well,
you know?
but that is
but
the thing.
Does.
So that was my point though. So I go to this water park, and this actually ties into just multiple things we were talking about here. But the first piece would be tattoos. All of the parents there at this water park, all of the kids are between the ages of probably 3 and 10, which means all of the parents there are between the ages of 30 and early 45. 30 and 45, I'd say. Every parent is, I mean, there's maybe a couple in their 20s,
right?
Maybe a couple older than 45, but 95% of people have to be between the ages of 30 and 45 there. And just everyone has tattoos. Everyone has tattoos. And what's amazing is just how shitty everyone's tattoos are. Like, even them, it's like they gave up on their tattoo. Even they thought their tattoos sucked. Like the number of people that have like sleeves and huge tattoos on their back, and it's like, no, it's just half done. And they're like, nah, screw it. This thing sucks. I'm not even gonna finish it. And you're like, you can tell. I'm no tattoo expert. I don't know how they should look, but the number of them that, first of all, just from an artistic standpoint, they just look like shit. Like the line work, the drawing, it's just terrible. Like from an artistic standpoint, they suck. A lot of them are just god awful. Yeah. And then the number of them where.
So you're saying even like taste aside, you're saying
I'm like, dude,
taste aside, you're talking about like the actual.
I'm like, I probably could draw.
Like even if you like that style.
No,
like,
it's no style. It's like, it looks like it was drawn by someone in 6th grade. Like it, like I'm no world-class artist by any means, but I'm like, I could draw that good when I was in 6th grade. These look bad. They look bad.
Right.
They just suck. The drawing, there's no artistic merit to the drawing. The drawing sucks.
Right.
But then the number of them too, where, and I'm assuming, I know nothing about tattoos here, but I'm assuming that if you know what you're doing, there's probably some technique involved that does something to the longevity or the lifetime of the tattoo.
I
because
think so.
There's a lot of them where I'm like, dude, this thing looks so faded, destroyed. Like the lines
Depends
are like
on how you take care of your skin. Too,
and that probably is part of it too. But like some of them, just like, dude, this looks like it could be on a World War II veteran's arm. Like, and it just looks so grizzled and rough. And I'm like, you you got to be somewhere around my age. Like, why does this look that bad? And all I can think of is like, because you were 18 and you probably got it from a 19-year-old that had like just got a tattoo gun and was like drawing on your arm. Like that's all I can think of, because some of them just, it's like the lines like aren't good. It's like totally faded out. It's just like everything about it looks bad. But yeah, then the other takeaway I had was I was just shocked at the number of people that was like they had given up on their own tattoos. They were like, yeah, this thing sucks, because
like, I'm done here.
Yeah, it's just, you could tell this back piece, this sleeve, whatever it is, it was so old and it just like had gotten started and never got finished.
Come back to it. They're like, yeah, we're good here.
Just like, like someone was definitely shading here and the rest is outlines and whatever. I don't even care anymore.
I could definitely see that of you just lose interest in it though too. After a while, you're like, yeah, I don't know, whatever it is.
Well, I'm assuming a lot of these people got those tattoos when they were like in their late teens, early 20s.
Right.
And it was probably cool and exciting. And they're like, fuck, it's going to be another $500 to finish this thing. Yeah, I'm good just leaving it, I guess. I got the effect I was going for here.
Yeah. I would like more tattoos. I really like your brother's tattoos.
Yeah. Kevin, remember Kevin? He went from having zero tattoos to he got just a full arm sleeve. That was his first tattoo, an entire sleeve. And I think his looks really good too, but yeah, it's a commitment.
I think tattoos have gotten like the quality. I don't know. This is just my I have no more experience in it than you do. I have the experience of getting 2 small tattoos moderately, 20 years ago. So I have no experience either, but it seems like I do see a lot better quality, generally speaking, around than like I did 20 years ago. I don't remember seeing so many cool tattoos.
Yeah, 20 years ago, it just felt like you just picked the piece of clip art you wanted on your body.
That's right.
And now
that's like what I did. Yeah.
Yeah. And now there's like
that's
guys.
What people did when they,
Yes. And now there's like guys that have
artists.
actual artistic ability that are now becoming tattoo artists.
Right. So that's better, I think. Like that's what
that's a win for everyone.
Yeah. That's what like kind of makes me want tattoos, just because like cool stuff. But then also like, if I'm going to do it, I want to get it I'm not saying cost is no object. People know that I'm as cheap as they come, but I do have a certain philosophy on a lot of things where I'm like, no, if I'm buying this, I want like the best one.
Mm-hmm.
And I do take that stance on certain things, and a tattoo would definitely be one of those things that I'm like, no, if I want to get a tattoo, I want like the person that people are like, yeah, you got to get a tattoo.
Oh,
from
damn,
this
you got a
person.
tattoo from him? Whoa. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Right. Because that's
Like,
part of the story of it too.
Right. I don't know. That's probably people with a bunch of tattoos probably think of that as a stupid philosophy. And I also have a hard time committing. And I think a lot of people with tattoos are like, no, you just do it. And
that's
looks cool.
where I would,
I analyze it too much.
Mm-hmm. I'm the exact same way.
So tattoos, huh?
That's tattoo talk.
Massenomics tattoos. Now those are tattoos.
Those are something special right there.
You know what else is something special? Build Fast Formula supplements. Very special. They've got the Vaso Blitz. That's the classic Massenomics one. We've heard Chris Duffin talk about it before. It's got, it's the pre-workout stimulator, and also, make things happen in the bedroom a little bit. So if you're going for 40 days and 40 nights, you might want to avoid the Vaso Blitz for those 40 days, 40 nights. But once you come off of it, the Vaso Blitz comes back. Why did he have to go? Was it a bet or what?
I don't know. I didn't see the movie. I don't.
Okay, yeah, it was a bet. Maybe we'll say it was a bet, or it was a spell that was put on him and something, and he like literally couldn't do it, or
I don't know. I honestly don't
know. So then they've also got the Full Blitz, which is their fully loaded pre-workout supplement. It's got the benefits of Vaso Blitz along with the caffeine. Then they've got my favorite is the 80-20 protein, and that's the 80% casein protein to the 20% whey protein ratio. I use that every day, and you can too if you go to buildfastformula.com. That's where you can check out their full line and use discount code Massenomics. Save you 10% on your entire order. Also on any of their products, if you're going to be reusing them, you can sign up for a subscription. That saves you an extra 10% on top of that. If you do both together, which you can, get 20% off at buildfastformula.com. Thank you, BuildFast.
And today's episode is also brought to you by Texas Power Bars. Buddy Caps first started lifting weights in the late 60s and began powerlifting in the mid 70s. At the time, he was working for Image Barbell, building gym equipment. Around 1976, a local machine shop started making Olympic bars for them, calling it the Image Bar. In 1977, Image Barbell became Champion Barbell. It was then that Buddy started looking at the bars with an intent of changing them for the better. In 1979, Buddy bought his first lathe to begin addressing the known issues. In 1980, his passion, drive, and purpose now had a greater mission. Buddy set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he'd ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house with the best knurling and was maintenance-free. Hundreds of state, national, international, and world powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. To learn more about Texas Power Bars and buy one of their legendary bars, visit texaspowerbars.com.
Thank you, Texas Power Bars. Like we said, make sure to check out our drop that we have coming on Thursday. Big drop, fresh out the oven. Don't miss it. There's going to be some exciting stuff there. Anything else we need to hit on this week, Tommy?
I think that's all of it.
All right. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Like us on Facebook. Yeah, I don't care if you like us on Facebook. Do that
So,
stuff.
yeah, most importantly, like us on Facebook. If you take anything from this, make sure to like us on Facebook.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot
Tommy-
of engagement there, a lot of content thrown at you.
Don't even like us on Facebook. Don't. Unlike us if you're liking us on Facebook. Tommy, where do they find you at?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Bear. Just please make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.